Hello friends, in this video I want to share with you an option strategy of one of the series on Bitcoin and tell you how to make money off of it. But first I will focus on a small technical analysis of Bitcoin and then I will move on to the strategy. A simple 100-day moving average works well with Bitcoin. It's easy to follow. Watch this. Here's the trend is rising. Here the bars crossed the 100-day moving average and then went up. There was an aggressive rise of the trend. There was not a single crossover with the 100-day moving average. In April of year 21st, there was the first crossover. Then there was a slight rise and then a crossover again. And after that, price flew down from the level of 54 or 55,000. Bitcoin fell to the current level of 30,000. The crossover shows a significant movement of the price. Here is this rising trend showed up after crossing from the bottom to the top of this moving 100-day average. It happened around July 30 of year 21. This moving average became a support level, and then the price pushed up and flew up from the 44th level to the highest level of 68,000. And after that, a really strong move occurs. Whenever a crossover occurs, we see an aggressive change in price. And after that, at the 54,500 level, at the end of 21st year, we see another significant crossover. And after that, Bitcoin went down from 57,000 to 42,000. There was a major liquidation. Of course, we see a spike in volatility. You can see it on the indicator below. The historical volatility of Bitcoin futures is above 100. And after that, price arrives below the moving average. Here we see a false crossover. I've built a trend line on 2 points here, the first high and the second high, and guided by this line, we can see another significant crossover last year, although the FTX happened in the beginning of November. But then nobody was interested in FTX, because it was already the end of the bear market. This line, by the way, can be extended, and we can see that the downtrend line has become a support for the Bitcoin chart. The FTX downtrend line became a support line. The price pushed away from it, then the price started to slow down and the volatility decreased. And over a long period, starting at the end of the 21st year, that's when we launched our AE exchange, an unprecedented decline began out of nowhere. Bear market. Testing started on the April 21st. There was a crossover that didn't realized. In the summer of 22nd year, there was also an attempt to cross the line. Then in September, there was an expectation that there would be another cross and the fall would stop. We expected a rise in November of year 22nd, but FTX happened and we fell even lower. To 15,000. But you know what's the best part? Notice this crossover of the 100-day moving average on January 11, and the price went higher. The 100-day line became a support line. Price pushed back up, and we saw a test of price in June of this year. But because of recent events, where major investment world companies started applying for Bitcoin ETFs, and that helped the price climb back out. Let's look at the dates. Here we have the filings. ARK was the first company to quietly file. This whole bull run thing happened after BlackRock filed. BlackRock has almost $10 trillion under management. The big players also include Fidelity and the rest of the big funds and investment companies. The entire crowd has filled with the US Securities Commission. Now came the confirmation of additional information of these applications, namely who are the contingentants of the planned funds, who will hold this Bitcoin. Almost everyone has specified the US cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase in the applications. It was more of a political decision. And the next deadline we have, penultimate column, in August. And then we will receive information on the earlier application of the ARK Invest. We will hear about the other companies in September. In this situation, it is possible that a powerful price movement on Bitcoin will happen. If at least one of these applications for Bitcoin ETFs is getting approved, Bitcoin will be bought for a lot of money. We're talking billions. and capitalization could increase. How do you play that? How do you capitalize on that? I thought about it and found the following idea interesting. I will demonstrate it now. I took the September series of options so that I could play on these events. I want to jump in on the Bitcoin growth if it happens. I'll be brief. You and I open the vertical call spread of the September options series. We buy options call 34, 1000 contracts, planning to sell 1000 call 36 options. We get the usual vertical spread on call options, and so I could not pay for this spread. I finance this case by selling put of strike 26 options. But I'm not planning to sell 1000, like for 1 Bitcoin, but only half. 500 contracts. Let's look at the risk of this strategy right now. The worst case scenario is if there is a collapse in the Bitcoin price. Then we will get half of the Bitcoin in this strategy at a price of 26,000. The price, you'll agree, is nice. If Bitcoin will fall, but not much, we lose absolutely nothing. We have a no-loss zone of 26,000. We will have absolutely no losses, but we will also have no earnings. If Bitcoin rises a little bit, we won't earn anything either. But if a powerful jump in Bitcoin price really happens, in this case, let me remind you, I'm using a vertical spread of 34 to 36. Then we will earn $2,000 if the price exceeds 36. This strategy has a margin requirement of $967. This is how much will be blocked. Once again, pay attention to the risks. The idea is to make money on the realization of powerful growth. If there is no growth, we will earn nothing. And if it happens, we earn $2,000 on this strategy. In the worst apocalyptic scenario, Bitcoin falls down below 26,000. We will get a half of Bitcoin in the futures at a price of 26,000. You can evaluate this strategy for yourself. I'm only showing it as an example, as an idea. I like this format of this strategy very much, because it allows me to work with a scenario in a large no-loss zone. We have an aggressive scenario of possible growth, and such growth may well happen. If at least one application approved, we will be on the inside of a price train, a train that will be moving upwards. See for yourself, you can increase the number of put options sold. In that case, of course, would increase the risk. If we sell 1000 contracts, i.e. 1 Bitcoin, our profit zone will change. In case our scenario does not come through, we will be on the plus side. But if the price falls below 26,000, then we'll get 1 Bitcoin instead of half. And we will have a guaranteed profit in case the price rises above 2,000. Even if there's no growth, we will get at least some profit of $400. You can change the strategy, add your risks, change strikes, remove strikes, model the strategy in your own way. In short, the strategy is that we buy the vertical spread, compensating the purchase by selling put options. This way we get a good no-loss zone and a good profit zone. And that's it. I wish you all the best, successful options trading. Feel free to post your questions in the comments. I will be glad to answer them all. Press that like button if you liked this video. If you are not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And thank you!